And still the champion of the world, Sean O'Malley.
Undefeated, self-proclaimed, after getting absolutely dominated by Merab.
That was a sound beating, a sound domination.
Yeah.
Wouldn't really call it a beating because there wasn't an insane amount of damage being done, but It was just complete control. Sean O'Malley was on his heels the whole match. He was taken down, had a hard time getting up. What'd you think?
I think jiu-jitsu's fake, wrestling's real. Sean O'Malley, he tried for 25 minutes to get up and land strikes, and he only was able to do it in the last 2 minutes of the fight. But hilariously, he has declared himself the winner. He says he's still the champion, still undefeated.
I'm back! Just rewatched the fight. I won round 1, 3, and 5. Fuck you, Merab. You're still a bitch. I'm the champ and still undefeated, defending my belt in June or July against Umar Nurmagomedov in Las Vegas. I'm the champ and still round 1, 3, and 5. You don't believe me? Go rewatch it for yourself. I'm Merab running like a bitch in round 5. I'm the champ. Rewatch the fight. Title defense number 3, Umar, I'm coming for you.
Never seen anyone do this before, and I think it's great.
It's almost a calling back to Uncle Chael Sonnen, who claims that he beat Anderson Silva. He said Anderson Silva sucked after Anderson beat him.
Which I love.
Anderson Silva, you absolutely suck.
Chael Sonnen claims that if you tap in a match, you lose the round, and because he won 4 rounds before that, he won the match.
But as far as the first fight, this is the truth. That was a misunderstanding of the rules. And the way I thought it worked was that if you tapped, you lost that round. So I thought what they would do is they go to a judge's decision, they go 4 rounds to 1, and we go home and I'd be the new champion. And if anyone had explained to me that stops the bout in its entirety, I would not have tapped.
So really it's been more about just educating yourself on the rules this time around. And
it was a complete misunderstanding.
But this time, no misunderstanding.
Now I get it. I'd never been in a 5-round fight, so it was new. I just didn't know. You guys should.
Yeah, he didn't know.
Love it.
He didn't know that.
Sean O'Malley playing a character. Love it. And I'd be interested to see them fight again, because the match did end with Sean O'Malley with a little bit of momentum. He front kicked Merab in the stomach. Supposedly Merab has some stomach issue or something that added to the damage. And then Sean was looking snipery. That's what they say about him. He's a sniper, stands outside, lands a big punch. And Merab, Dean Thomas had a great way to say it. He's a butterfly in a hurricane. You can't see him, you can't touch him, he's everywhere. One of the best photos I've seen was they have like a time lapse of like everywhere in the octagon they fought, and it's like perfectly distributed. He took him down everywhere in the octagon. Every round took him down. Didn't really smash him, but just exhausted him and beat him.
Yeah, he just held him down. He couldn't get up, and Sean was in no position to strike back while he was down.
No.
So it was just Sean trying to get up for the whole match.
Yeah.
Some people thought it was a boring show. I'm biased because I like to see when grapplers can shut down strikers. I also like to see when strikers can shut down grapplers, which is what Sean O'Malley did to Aljamain Sterling.
Incredible.
So mixed martial arts, he used his striking style to make sure that Aljamain Sterling couldn't even get a good hold of him. And then a few months later, Aljo's boy, Merab, who Aljo kind of stepped aside from the division in order to not fight with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it. Hate it. And why did you even get into this sport? If that's your mentality and the way that you think. I don't even want the title. I don't even want the championship. We're friends. We're this. We're that. This is not about friendship. This is about finding out who the best in the world is. And if you don't want to find out who the best in the world is, this is not the place for you.
So now Merab brings back the belt to the gym. Supposedly, not according to Sean. Sean is still the champion.
Which I love it. He did a total switch. He put a video of him putting his belt in a suitcase and saying, "All right, guys, I'm not going to fight for a while." And I think the next day, like, nope, I rewatched the fight from the chin. I'm fighting Umar in June.
He says he's defending his belt.
He's defending his belt. Hilarious. I love it all. I love, people say grappling's boring. I think domination is always fun, however it comes about. If Sean had pieced him up on the feet like he did to Cheeto, that was incredible to watch. Sean piecing up Aljamain Sterling, he sniped him in the first round. Awesome, love it. Merab taking down Sean O'Malley and holding him down, love it.
So anyone that says
I think people just aren't fans of fighting.
Yeah, I think no,
right?
They are,
because
I think MMA is getting bigger, and to all those who claim they love striking, so boxing is still number one as far as popularity worldwide in martial arts. But if everyone loved striking as much as they claim they did, kickboxing would be huge.
Yeah, they would love Muay Thai.
It's not at all. Yeah, Muay Thai is not that big. Kickboxing is not that big. So I think the unpredictability of MMA, where we don't know whether two strikers going together, whether they're going to wrestle or how it's going to play out. I think that's the amazing thing about it.
Yeah.
And to shut down a decorated striker like that. And Sean is no slouch on the ground either. He's
fantastic.
He's a jiu-jitsu brown belt. As Marshall just mentioned, jiu-jitsu doesn't work sometimes. Yesterday we had a white belt, a student of mine, a white belt in here, and it was just so hard to submit him just because he's strong and he's stiff and he doesn't react in jiu-jitsu ways, which kind of shuts down jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, he doesn't know what I'm trying to do to him. So a lot of times people will start thinking, I'll get their hand like, oh no, a triangle's coming, and put themselves into the situation.
Yes.
He doesn't know what's rubber guard, he doesn't know what a sweep is, and I couldn't do anything to this guy.
So he doesn't put himself into any of it. So and I remember this kind of vaguely when I started jiu-jitsu. I remember guys telling me to calm down, don't use my strength so much, which was kind of bad advice because what it does is, yes, you're supposed to be loose, and being loose in the gym, it helps with training. It prevents everybody from getting injured. But as far as like in an actual fight or defending yourself, being loose and flowing is not necessarily conducive to really defending yourself or really not putting yourself into bad positions.
Yeah, strength's pretty effective.
Strength is super, super duper effective. Strength and size are super effective. So Sean O'Malley being a very good grappler, he did have a moment where he was getting close to an armbar. He was kind of cheating where he was grabbing onto the glove.
Yeah.
And Herb Dean stopped it as according to the rules.
Great stoppage, because like if he let it go, say 5 or 10 more seconds, maybe Merab has a broken arm from an illegal glove hold. He was gripping inside the glove like it was a gi, which is a pretty smart way to do it, but illegal.
If the ref doesn't see it.
Yeah, the ref stopped it. And so that was very close to a controversial stoppage. Imagine the arm breaks, you have to stop it because of that, but it's illegal. That would have been a whole thing. And so we avoided that. What do you think of Herb Dean saying action to the fighters? What did you make of that? He said it a lot.
He did say it a lot. I think the whole setup of the Sphere, first of all, it was an amazing show.
Absolutely
like
incredible.
A completely different show. I think it almost seemed like the ref was louder in this. Not just that he was talking more, but you could hear everything. I don't know if it was a quieter place.
For sure. It's less people than usual, and all the people are on one side. Usually it's a surrounding noise. It's coming down from all angles. Less people than we're used to in a UFC.
I think there was enough action, but I don't know. And I don't know what...
That was action-packed.
I don't know what these refs are told beforehand, because there are some refs that they don't say much, and then in another fight they will say more. Yeah. So I think... And I'm not accusing the UFC of coaching the refs, or I don't know what happens with the refs.
It did look like it, though.
There is a difference in certain refs. You see I mean, they're humans, right? So there's going to be certain days where they're going to make mistakes. There's going to be certain days when they're going to call things that they normally wouldn't have called. Maybe Herb didn't sleep very much the night before. And he wanted some action because the fight was putting him to sleep a little bit. I don't know. And it's kind of something that's different in the UFC than other leagues is that the announcers, the commentators, will kind of like bash the ref during the match.
They speak their mind.
Yeah. They really speak their mind, and they'll just be like, "What is this ref doing? This ref is the worst."
I don't understand that at all. You know what I'm saying? That's great. Which I love it. I think that makes it so much more fun.
I like how the UFC does things differently. The refs, them talking about the refs, or even how Dana White, he'll bash his own fighters.
Yeah.
He'll say crazy, unexpected things. So it's kind of a rebellious league with these top athletes. I like it. I like the way it's done, and I like that even though people say, you know, this is not the way the NFL would do things.
Yeah.
I just say, well,
great.
It's not the NFL, so which is fine for me.
Yeah. The one thing that Dana White said about this card that I guess I just disagree with it. I think it's funny that he says it, but I disagree because this is every main card is 5 fights, and the first 3 fights were incredible striking exchanges. The last 2 fights, Valentina Shevchenko and Merab took down their opponents. It was just wrestling domination. And afterwards, Dana White says, "Oh, a lot of new people bought this card. A lot of people watched. I hope they tuned out after the first 3 fights." It's just crazy. Like I thought every single fight was fun. I think it's great when there's a striking exchange. I think it's great when there's a grappling exchange. I think domination is fun in all forms.
Grappling is just harder for a casual to understand grappling exchanges. Striking, it's very easy to see, like, oh, that guy got punched in the head and he's falling down.
It's more obvious.
It's very obvious. It was a good show. I still have to go back and watch the rest of it.
Absolutely,
I loved
it's so fun.
The pageantry of the sphere, like all the lights and the different look, and how even the ring girls were wearing these big crowns on their head. It was, They put on a really good show.
It was so fun.
Yeah, and that's, like I always say, the UFC, what sets them apart from other leagues like Bellator or One is just, they just put on a better show. The production is better. Everything looks cleaner. Yeah. Everything is just well lit. It just looks more beautiful.
Yeah. Agree. Sugar Sean O'Malley, undefeated.
The UFC does reward people for stuff like that.
Sure.
Like Kobe. Kobe is a perfect example. He's talked himself into so many championship fights.
It's true.
By just being the loudest.
Yeah. Staying relevant without fighting.
Yeah. Conor, like, look how long Conor hasn't fought in years. Just because of his personality and the way that he talks, he's still relevant in the UFC.
Yeah, so, they talk about him fighting for a title. It's crazy.
Yeah. There's also one more thing. We had talked about before Demetrious Johnson, who's not in the UFC, but he has retired. And talking about GOATs. In the GOAT conversation, it seems like Jon Jones is the only active GOAT that's left. I don't think there are any other active fighters that anybody considers to be the greatest of all time that I know of. So we're
a couple of contenders. If Islam Makhachev keeps it up, he's there. That's all I can think of.
The crown will soon be vacant. Once Jones says he's going to retire after the Stipe match.
I hope that's not true.
And it will be a vacant crown. I'm okay with it being true. I think if he keeps, just like Khabib said, why would I keep fighting? If I keep fighting, I'm going to lose. Jones is in his late 30s. He's been on top for has it been like 10 years?
Oh, longer. Yeah.
Actually, no, it was at 24.
College.
Yeah. So it's been like 15 years. Does he really need to prove that he could beat Tom Aspinall? Does he really need to prove it?
I just want to see it.
I want to see it too.
I think it's fun.
But
I think he can do it.
At some point, you got to stop. I think so. If
Tom Aspinall, Francis Ngannou.
If he wants to stop, I'm okay with him stopping. And this whole idea that he's a chicken and he's just ducking. It's kind of stupid. Tom Aspinall is a fresh young guy. Yeah. Obviously, he's going to shoot after the guy that's on top.
Yeah,
So-
and he's interim champ and wants the champ.
Yeah.
Tom Aspenal defended an interim belt. That's insane. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
Interim belt, you're supposed to get it and then fight the champion next.
Yeah, Jones has just been out for so long, and
it's
they're
annoying.
holding it up for Jones. So, I mean, I would like to see him and Stipe go at it if he wants to retire after that. I'm assuming Stipe is going to retire after that too.
I hope so. Stipe already he's been acting retired for a long time.
Yeah, I think he's 42. So
Yeah. He's a firefighter.
yeah.
He's a rich firefighter.
Yeah, I think he's okay. I think these guys are all okay. They've filled up a good portion of my years of watching MMA. So Jon Jones doesn't owe anybody anything.
It's true.
Champ at 24.
Yeah.
So he got in at about 23, and he's been on a tear all the way till now. I think he's 37 now. So
It's fair.
very fair. Sean O'Malley, champ.
Undefeated. Goat.
Sean O'Malley's the GOAT. That's true. All right.
I won round
think
1,
that's
3,
good.
and 5. Fuck you, Merab. You're still a bitch. I'm the champ and still undefeated, defending my belt in June or July against Umar Nurmagomedov in Las Vegas. I'm the champ and still.
It's you, my friend. What's wrong with you, bro? Why you keep smoking, my friend? I thought you was just sleeping now. It's a sleep time for you, bro. Come on, bro. Listen, son, don't worry about this Umar Nurmagomedov. I will take care of Umar. You're not a champion anymore, and I'm gonna take belt from you again. So you drive safe, son. Let's go, Sean. No more smoke. No more smoke. See you. Bye. Drive safe, okay?